say eternal optimist. Like I really do feel like I'm super optimistic, but I was just thinking about so Tuesday night I went to the Blackhawks game with my family and they're really bad. If you don't know, like they're pretty bad right now. And but we had these great tickets because Eddie and Max work there and um the they played Vancouver and Vancouver scored within 16 seconds of the for opening whatever you call it face off. Yeah. And so everyone around us was like, boo. Everyone was so mad. And I was like, it's okay. He wasn't ready yet. And Max was like, you can't cheer that like at a sporting event. But it reminded me of this other time we were at a baseball game and this guy in the outfield like dropped the ball. We were in the bleachers and I was like, you'll get it next time. And Max was just like, oh, mom, it's so embarrassing. But I was thinking about just optimism overall. It's a practice. You can you choose to be more optimistic. It's not like you're born a certain way or like it has to be a certain way or whatever your environment are, like you can choose. It's a practice just like anything else, just like coming to class and unrolling your mat. It's a choice you're making to move your body. The way you go about your practice, you make a choice. That we make a choice of how we're breathing, our attention to the practice. So whatever the practices are that keep you running at a like a some level of normalcy and you feel alive and you feel like you can participate, I really want to inspire you to utilize those practices in the coming weeks, not only because of the first week of November, but the whole shift in general, like this kind of shift into the winter. I just like have trouble getting dressed. Does anyone have trouble getting dressed right now? That's like in between time. I'm like, there's like a mound of clothes in my closet. I don't, what's wrong with me? I just like, it's like, you don't know what to wear. It's like transition. It's like this weird time. So just really finding ourselves to whether it's a walk, whether it's your cup of tea or you're connecting with a friend, just like continue the practices that really keep you whole and grounded. We're gonna start standing. Oh no, Linda was just like, I'm gonna sit down. Don't sit down yet. We're gonna start standing. And for you guys at home, um, I'm gonna hit play on this playlist. The first track is silent, so we'll come to the top of your mat and look down at your feet and arrange your feet to look like the number 11 so they have a little bit of space between them and lift all 10 of your toes and my feet to tend to do what I like them to do when I stare at them. And for a second rock a little bit side to side on your feet, so with your toes up, just like rock to the inside and rock to the outside. And then balance on your feet here, right in the middle. I always imagine this is like two giant SUVs parked right next door to each other, the big Hummers, and then spread your toes and really root down. And as you ground down through your feet, allow this energy to move up through your ankles, through the fronts of your shins. The kneecaps will lift up slightly, which will engage the fronts of your legs. And then the front two bones, the front rim of the pelvis, lifts up slightly. So the low belly stays nice and toned. And then the energy keeps going up through the center of your heart, up through the crown of your head, and then your arms just resting at your side. Nothing fancy. If you're comfortable here, close your eyes for a moment and feel your feet rooted into the earth, the crown of your head lifted high. Notice the pace, the rhythm of your breathing. That's something that you can make a choice about. You might find just the slightest pause at the top of your inhale is helpful. And the slightest pause at the bottom of your exhale as you grow this rhythm. And tap into a rhythm that you can sustain as you make shapes. Perhaps it becomes a little bit more pronounced. There's just really slight kind of narrowing to the back of your throat. You start to hear your own self breathing. We'll take one more full deep breath in together. And slowly exhale. Moving just your chin in towards your throat, towards your chest. Let the back of your neck get really long. Try to unclench your jaw, even though your lips are closed, that you're not holding your teeth together. And then let the shoulders start to round forward. I'm going to soften the knees and then start to move down towards the earth. You're just rolling down to a forward fold. Your arms heavy, keeping the knees soft. Let your head, your arms, your torso just hang over your legs. And again, it's a choice. Notice where your mind wanders to. And instead of thinking about, ooh, my back, my legs, what feels great? Rock your weight a little forward, a little backwards, rock your weight a little side to side. Feel as if you're almost sneaking up on your own self. As you breathe in, lift your head, lift your heart. This might be helpful with blocks if the floor is kind of far away. You could come up onto your fingertips as well and feel like your belly button, the middle of your heart, is looking forward. Your feet press into the mat and try to make your mat wider. So the inside of your leg moves to the outside of your leg, the crown of your head reaching towards the front of the space. We'll take a breath here. And with your exhale, soften and fold. Inhale, rise all the way to stand, stretch up for the sky, reach up like you're going to jump up and touch the ceiling. And exhale, let your arms float to your side. Breathe in, reach up from the soles of your feet, clear up through the crown of your head, through your fingertips. Exhale, soft bend to your knees as you forward fold, hands to the breath. Press your legs straight. Inhale, lift your heart, push the mat apart. Exhale, soften and fold. Drive your feet into the mat. Inhale, really like you're going to jump up and touch the ceiling. And exhale, let your arms float to your side. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, soft knees as you forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift and pause. Bend just your left knee. Keep your right leg straight and turn to your right, reaching your right arm up to the sky. Make sure that your left knee is tracking right over your left toes. And take a second here to rotate your right wrist. Open and close your hand. Big open palm, breath in, and exhale, release. Bend your right knee, straighten your left leg, and just take a peek at your right knee. It's tracking right over your right toes. Turn to the left, reach your left arm to the sky, and take a second here to rotate your wrist. Open and close your hand. Beautiful. You look like birds. And then open palm, breath in, and exhale your hand back down to the floor. Push through your feet. Inhale, rise to stand. And exhale, let your arms float to your side. Inhale, reach up to the sky. Exhale, dive out of your legs, forward fold. Inhale, come up halfway. Keep your left leg straight, bend your right knee. And now take both blocks or fingertips over to your right. Let your left arm get a little bit longer. My right arm is bent. I'm pressing my hands down onto the block and feel like your left hip is poking off to the side. Zero in on the space underneath your left armpit, through the left rib cage to the rim of your left hip. And then soften both knees, walk through the center. We'll do the other side. Straighten your right leg. Your left knee is bent. Again, it's tracking right over your left toes. Stretch your right arm out and feel like you can bump your right hip off to the side. Zero in on the outer edge of your right armpit, your right ribs, the rim of your right hip. Soften both knees, come back to the center. Press to your feet, inhale, rise to stand, reach up to the sky and stay here and float just your heels off your mat. So coming into a little moment of balance. You have to renegotiate a lot. I try not to hold your breath or hold your eyes open. Don't get panicky. And then slowly lower your heels. On your exhale, dive out of your legs, forward folds. Breathe in, come up halfway. Place your hands at the top of your mat and step down onto all fours. Inhale, float your heart forward, elevate your tail. Exhale, push the ground away, round your back, let your head fall between your arm bones. Inhale, open it up. And exhale, round. One more time, inhale, open it up. And exhale, round. Take your hips to your heels and come into child's pose. For this child's pose, let your arms soften. Concentrate on the spot in the middle of your forehead. Let it move into the ground. Your hips getting a little bit heavier. One more deep breath in and deep breath out. Inhale, rise up onto all fours. Pause here. Round your back like we do in cat, but lift your eyes up just a tad. Tuck the toes under and be really honest. Float your knees just a 1/4 inch off the floor. The heels of your hands are dragging backwards. Your toes are dragging forward. We'll hold here. 3 more breaths. Calm and steady. Be really honest with that 1/4 inch. 2. And last one. Lift your hips up to the sky. Downward facing dog. Look at your hands. Walk your feet to the top of your mat. Take a breath in. Come up halfway. Exhale, release your head and fold in. Inhale, big stretch to rise to the sky. Exhale, dive out of your legs, forward folds. Inhale, come up halfway. Place your hands at the top of your mat. Step backwards into plank pose and pause here in plank. So to lower down, you could add your knees to the earth for extra support, but your elbows go straight back as you come all the way down to the floor. Well done. Release your toes. Push the ground away. Inhale, lift your heart, cobra. Tuck your toes, push back with your hips, your heels, downward facing dog, and we'll hold here. 3 deep breaths. At the bottom of your exhale, look at your hands. Hop or step your feet to the top of your mat. As you breathe in, lift your heart, straighten your legs. As you exhale, release your head and fold in. Push your feet into your mat. Inhale, actively stretch for the sky. Exhale, dive out of the legs, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Place your palms, move to plank pose. Let your elbows feel your ribs as you gently lower down to the ground. Inhale, cobra. Maybe you're flirting with up dog. Tuck your toes. Exhale, drive back. Downward facing dog, and we'll hold here. Big breath in. Exhale. 2. Last one. The bottom of your exhale, look at your hands, tiptoe or hop your feet to the top of your space. Take a breath in, come up halfway. Exhale, release your head and fold in. Inhale, actively stretch for the sky, maybe even lean back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Place your palms, plank pose. Maybe you're lowering just halfway down or coming all the way to the floor. Release your feet. Up dog or cobra, make good choices. Tuck your toes, push back with your hips, your heels. Downward facing dog and hold here. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. One more full breath in. At the bottom of your exhale, look at your hands, tiptoe or hop your feet to the top of your space. Breath in, halfway lift. Exhale, release your head, fold. Inhale, stretch for the sky, rise high. One more together. Exhale, everything forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Place your hands, plank pose. Maybe you're lowering half or all the way down to the ground. Incredible. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, drive back, downward facing dog. Spread your hands. Spread your toes. Lengthen the sides of your body. Last two. Last one. Look at your hands. Tiptoe or hop your feet to the top of your mat. Take a breath in to come up halfway. Exhale, release your head and fold in. Inhale, rise to stand. On your exhale, put your hands on your hips. Shift your weight into your right foot. Simply lift your left knee to your chest and hold here for a moment. See if with just the right foot on the floor, you can feel like we did at the beginning. You can draw energy up through the sole of your foot, through your right kneecap, your right thigh bone pressing back, your heart lifted high. Just one more moment. Simply switch. Left foot comes down, root that into the earth, lift the right knee up. I always end up flexing my ankle, but you could try to keep your foot hanging. I don't know. And then again, feel like the left foot can root down, back of the left thigh pressing to the back. One more moment. Set your right foot on the earth. Inhale, stretch your arms and eyes to the sky. Exhale, dive out of your legs, forward fold. Inhale, come up halfway. Keep your right foot forward, please. Step your left foot behind. This is a moment when you put your knee on the ground. If it's just kind of sensitive, utilize a blanket. Crawl your hands up your front thigh, lift your chest. Instead of dropping into the bones, have this kind of rebound of energy up. Stretch your arms to the sky and let your heart float up. You end up looking up as a result of your chest lifting. Holding here. 3 more breaths. 2. And last one, swing your hands down to the floor. Tuck your back toes, pick up your back knee. We want to lift the hips up a little bit higher. We want to make as much space as possible so you can reach the right leg behind you. 3-legged dog. Pause for a second here. Arms are nice and straight. Left leg is straight, and reach out through your right heel and just simply try to lift your right leg a little bit higher and a little bit higher and a little bit higher. Exhale, huge step, right foot to the top of your mat. High lunge, crawl your hands up your front thigh, lift your heart, lift your chest, shoulders over your hips, and stretch your arms up to the sky. Push down with your feet, but then lift the ribs, lift up through the fingertips. Again, you end up looking up as a result of what's happening through the center of your chest. So beautiful. Keep your right arm where it is. Reach your left arm way out in front of you. Put your left hand on the ground. Twist to your right. Look up at your right thumb. Hug your right inner thigh in. One more breath. Glance at the floor. Right hand comes down to the ground. Big step to the top of your mat. Left foot stays. Right foot sneaks behind. Lower down your right knee and curl your toes. Walk on up. Do a little check-in. See if you can scissor hug the thighs, reach the ribs, reach the fingertips, and then when you're ready, start to look up towards the sky. No tension in your jaw. One more breath in. Exhale, swing your hands down to the floor. Tuck your back toes, pick up your knee, pick up your hips, push the ground away so you're rounding your upper back and lift the left leg behind you, 3-legged dog, and pause. Talk about optimistic. At one point, this was 1-legged dog. Right? And now it's a 3-legged dog, which I have a 3-legged dog, and he is like just a gift every day. So your left heel, reach out through your left leg and try to lift your left leg a little higher. And try to lift your left leg a little higher. One more breath. Slow motion. Place your left foot at the top of your mat. Tuck your right toes, lift up your knee, and rise on up. Stretch your arms up to the sky. Again, get organized. So when we do it, one breath, one movement, you just know exactly what to do. The whole front of the right hip, right low belly has your attention. Keep your left hand reaching up, reach your right arm way out in front of you. Place it on the ground or a brick and turn to your left. Hug the left inner thigh in. Nice. Mare, one breath. Look down, set your hand down. Big step to the top of your mat. Take a breath in. Right foot stays, left foot steps behind. Lower your knee and curl your toes. Breathe in, stretch your arms and eyes up to the sky. Exhale, your hands to the floor, tuck your back toes, pick up your knee. Inhale, right leg to the sky behind you. Exhale, right foot to the top of your mat. Inhale, stretch your arms, high lunge. Exhale, your left hand down to the floor. Inhale, twist to your right. Exhale, big step to the top of your mat. Take a breath in to regroup. Left foot stays, right foot steps behind. Lower your knee and curl your toes. Breathe in, low lunge. Breathe out, your hands down. Tuck your back toes, pick up your knee, left leg to the sky, three-legged dog. Aim for that height. Huge step, left foot to the top of your mat. Inhale, high lunge. Exhale, right hand reaches. Inhale, twist to the left. Exhale, step to the top of your mat. Halfway lift to regroup. Right foot stays, left foot steps behind you. Lower your knee and curl your toes. Breathe in. You just get to the top. Exhale, your hands down. Push the ground away. Lift the leg behind you. Three-legged dog. Exhale, huge step to the top of your mat. Inhale, rise, high lunge. Exhale, left hand comes down. Twist to your right. Look down, hand comes down, big step to the top of your mat. Breath in to regroup. Left foot stays, right foot steps behind you. Lower your knee and curl your toes. Inhale, yes, Stephanie. Exhale, hands to the earth. Tuck your back toes, pick it up. Left leg to the sky behind you. Huge step, left foot to the top of your mat. Inhale, rise, high lunge. Right hand comes down. Twist to the left, big breath in as you twist. Hand to the earth, step to the top of your mat. Breath in, halfway lift. Exhale, release your head and fold. Inhale, rise to stand. Exhale, take your hands to your hips. Shift your weight into your right foot. This time when you pick up your left leg, take it behind you. Try to keep the low belly moving back and up so it doesn't collapse towards the front of the space, and hold here. Right, calm and steady through your eyes, through your jaw, feeling the left glute, the left hamstring go to work. Simply set your foot down, ground it into the floor, and kick your right foot behind you. Again, low belly moves up and in, broad shoulders, squeeze the right heel. We'll stay here through the pause. And put your right foot on your mat. Inhale, stretch your arms and eyes up for the sky. Exhale, dive out of your legs, forward fold. Awesome. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, place your hands, step backwards into plank pose, and lower half or all the way down to the ground. Breathe in, coil and lift your chest. Breathe out, drive back, downward facing dog. Inhale, stretch your right leg to the sky. Huge step, right foot to the top of your mat. Slide your left heel onto the earth. We're going to rise up facing the brick wall, warrior two, and pause here. Good. So just like we built that other series, we'll build this one and then we'll move through it one breath, one movement. So you'll just pause here for a second. Feel like the outside of your right knee is moving to the wall of windows. The baby edge of your left foot is rooted into the ground. And then as you squish your feet in the floor, have that rebound of energy up through the crown of your head. Take your right forearm, place it on your right thigh. Reach your left arm up and over your head. We'll be back in here a few times, and you'll know the moment when you want to change it. Maybe your right hand will come down towards the floor, but you could stay right here for this one. That's all right. Relax the shoulder a little bit. It's that. Let's straighten this elbow. Straighten it. Yeah, that feeling. Good. Trust your strong legs. Inhale, rise up, warrior two. Lower your left arm, turn your right palm up, and head backwards, reverse. The right knee doesn't straighten at all, so this one's really hard to breathe, first of all. It's hard not to come out of your right knee. And you can't see your right knee, so you don't know what it's doing. You don't know if it's collapsing at all. Good. Rise through the center, warrior two. Look down at your front foot. send your hands to the floor and step backwards into plank pose. Bend your elbows, lower half or to the earth. Use the inhale to fill the lungs and drive you forward and up. Tuck your toes, push back with your hips. Use the exhale to pull the hips backwards in space. Inhale, float your left leg to the sky. Exhale, huge step, left foot to the top of your mat. Slide your right foot flat onto the floor. We're gonna rise up facing the wall of windows, warrior two. You guys at home, you're facing the long right side of your mat. And pause for a second, get your bearing. Yeah, perfect, so that you know exactly what to do. Think of the outer left knee pulling towards the brick wall. The baby edge of your right foot so rooted on the floor, there's a lightness to your right arch. Take your left forearm, place it on your left thigh, reach your right arm up and over your head. From the edge of your right foot all the way to your right fingertips, it has your attention. Stay where you are, pull your left knee towards Mary. Towards Mary. That's to the window, so this has got to come this way. Yes. Don't let that collapse, don't let it collapse, keep pushing them. Good, press through your feet, please. Inhale, rise, warrior two. Oof. Lower your right arm, turn your left palm up, head backwards, reverse warrior, and pause for a second here. I'm gonna hold this leg hostage. Yeah, hard to breathe. Inhale, rise to the center, look down at the floor, cartwheel your hands to the ground, step right back into plank pose. Bend your elbows and lower half or down to the ground. Breathe in, coil your heart, fill the lungs, pull them up and forward, tuck the toes, draw back, downward facing dog. Inhale, stretch your right leg to the sky. Exhale, step your right foot to the top of your mat, left heel. Inhale, rise, warrior two. Exhale, huge to the front, big side bend. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, reverse. Inhale, warrior two. Cartwheel your hands to the floor, step back into plank and lower down. Breathe in, fill the lungs, pull them forward, tuck the toes, drive back, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg rises. Step your left foot to the top of your mat, root your right foot. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, side angle. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, reverse. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, your hands down. You could step into down dog and skip it or move through the flow. We'll do this pattern one more time. Together, inhale, right leg rises. Exhale, right foot steps forward, left heel roots. Drive through your feet, warrior two. Exhale, lean forward, side angle pose. You just got there. Inhale, rise back to warrior two. Exhale, lean backwards. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, cartwheel the hands to the floor. Step back into plank and lower down. Breathe in, lift your heart up and open. Breathe out, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg rises. Exhale, huge step, left foot to the top of your mat, right foot flat onto the floor. Use the inhale to rise, warrior two. Exhale, go further to the front, side angle. Inhale, warrior two. Lower your right arm, turn your left palm up. Exhale, reverse warrior. Inhale, warrior two. Look down, cartwheel the hands to the floor. Step back into plank and lower down. Inhale, coil your heart forward and up. Exhale, drive back, downward facing dog. Awesome. From downward facing dog, lower down onto your knee. Grab one of your blocks and make sure that it's on the right side of your mat. And then step back into plank. You could pause, you could hold plank. You're gonna take your right hand, grab the block, and put it on the left side of your mat, and then put your right hand back down. Take your left hand, grab the block, and put it on the right. Try not to throw it over there, and put your left hand back down. Take your right hand, grab the block, lightly set it over to the left. Keep going back and forth. Pretend my cup of tea is on your tailbone. Let's do it until I absolutely hear 0 blocks. Oh, that changed things. Interesting. Okay, just really calm and steady. The next time your block is at the left, we'll call that even Steven, and lift your hips up to the sky, downward facing dog. Look at your hands, lift your heels, tiptoe or hop your feet to the top of your mat. Take a breath in to come up halfway. Exhale, release your head and fold in. Inhale, rise to stand. Exhale, take your hands to your heart. Shift your weight into your right foot, lift your left heel. Turn your left knee off to the side. You're gonna reach down and put your left foot onto your right inner thigh and then glue your inner leg to your foot. Your hands are doing the same thing. You could stay right here or stretch your arms to the sky. And then maybe start to this feeling of pushing your right foot down into the floor. Grow, lift up. As you root the right foot, the right kneecap lifts. Maybe the rim of your right hip lifts up a little bit. Maybe your heart lifts up a little bit and you end up looking up. Yeah. Hands to your heart. Rotate your knee forward. Set your left foot on the ground. Pick up your right heel. Turn the right knee off to the side. Reach down, grab your foot. If your left inner thigh is frustrating, put it on your left calf. And then squeeze your feet, your leg together, squeeze your hands together. Stretch your arms up to the sky. Visualize just how we started. Push down. Ride that energy up through your kneecap. Yes, through your quad. I could see it. Lift your heart up. Maybe that makes you look up without losing your balance. Sometimes trees fall down. That's just what happens. Hands to your heart, rotate your knee forward, set your left foot on the floor. Breathe in, stretch your arms and eyes up for the sky. Exhale, dive out of your legs, forward fold. Inhale, come up halfway. Keep your right foot forward, slide your left foot behind you, and then move your left foot over and flat. Inhale, rise, warrior one. Deep into your right knee, back leg is super straight. In slow motion, straighten your front leg and pause for a second here. See if you can do the same exercise. Spread your toes, lift up through the kneecaps, lift up through the front rim of the pelvis, kind of organize the abdomen, arms stay elevated. Take your arms behind your back, interlace your fingers, slide the shoulders together, zero in. It's like as if your thumbs are gonna scrape over your left glute and land by your left heel. Keep what you have, bend your right knee. Then let your belly button go forward. Your heart, your chin, your nose, your forehead. Lift the knuckles up to the sky. Keep gluing your feet into the mat and try to hug your right hip in a little bit. That's it. On your breath in, come up halfway. Put your hands on the floor, rotate your back heel. Blocks are welcome. Launch your back leg up into the sky. Standing splits. I hate that name. But what does this look like for you? You could walk your hands a little further back. Maybe put your hands on your own right calf. Really kind of tuck your nose in towards your right shin. One more breath. And then lower your left foot down onto the floor. Take a breath in to regroup, to lift your head, and step your right foot for the back. Move your right foot over and flat. Drum down through your feet and rise on up, warrior one. Slowly straighten your front leg. Pause for a moment. See if you can energize the legs and regroup, especially through the middle. Take your arms behind your back. Interlace your fingers. Snuggle your shoulders together and then feel like your arms are going to slide down your right thigh. Keep that. Track your left knee right over your left toes. Yes. Slowly bow to the inside of your left leg. Knuckles up towards the ceiling. Bump your left hip in. Linda, good idea. On your inhale, come up halfway, release your hands, blocks are welcome, drive forward, and lift your right leg up. Experiment with reaching out through the toes, just for the sake of experiment. And then maybe you want to walk your hands closer in. Maybe you want to take your hands onto your calf. Yeah. Good. One more breath. Put your hands down on the blocks or the floor and lower your right leg down. Take a breath in to regroup. Exhale, step your left foot behind you, move it over and flat. Inhale, rise, warrior one. Keep the legs. Exhale, take your arms behind your back. Inhale, float your heart forward. Exhale, fold to the inside of your right leg. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, transition forward. Inhale, float the left leg up. And exhale, lower. Breathe in, half lift. Breathe out, right foot steps behind you. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, arms behind your back. Inhale, slide your knuckles down your right leg. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, release, transition. Inhale, squeeze the right glutes. Exhale, right foot on the floor. Breathe in, half lift. Right foot stays forward, left foot steps backwards. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, arms behind your back, interlace your fingers. Inhale, launch the heart up to the sky. Exhale, fold. Nice, Daniela. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, transition. Inhale, float your back leg up. Exhale, lower down. Breathe in, come up halfway. Breathe out, keep your left foot forward, right foot backwards. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, arms behind your back. Inhale, lift the heart high. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Release your hands, transition. Inhale, reach the right leg up. Exhale, lower your right foot down. Breath in to come up halfway. Place your hands at the top of your mat. Step into plank and pause. This time in plank pose, lower down to your forearms, and then change your mind about that. Put your right hand down and put your left hand back down. Left elbow, right elbow, left hand, right hand. Keep going, switching sides. Visualize the cup of tea on your tailbone so that your pelvis and legs aren't going all over the place. Just trying to minimize the movement through the lower body. This is where you're happy. Everyone's here with us. If you were alone, you'd be done. All right, last set. I'm on left elbow, right elbow, and stay here. Get your bearings. 3, last 2, and last one. Tap your knees, uncurl your toes, Sphinx pose. Close your eyes. Slip your elbows out from underneath you, forehead to your mat. Hands by your rib cage. Inhale to cobra. Tuck your toes, push back with your hips, your heels. Downward facing dog. From down dog, stretch your right leg to the sky. Remember your new range of motion. Light landing, right foot to the top of your mat. Slide your left heel onto the floor. We'll rise up warrior two just for a heartbeat, and then slowly straighten your right leg. Triangle pose, bump your right hip underneath you, right hand comes down, left arm goes to the sky, and hold here. These are amazing. Pause for another moment, press through your left heel, rise to the center, put your left hand on your left hip, bend your right knee. Right hand comes down, Ardha Chandrasana, great place for a block. Step your left foot in a little closer, and then step the block with your right hand out a little further. Push out through your left heel. Aim the left toes more towards the brick wall, towards Thomas, Linda, Daniela, towards their wall. So that feels a little concave through the abdomen. Move this leg forward. This way, this way, this way, this way. Yes. Good. Ooh, Thomas. One more breath. Glance down, everyone. Put your left hand down on the floor or the block. Your left leg is still in the air. Take a breath in. Exhale, tap your left knee to your right calf. Push down through your feet. Inhale, extend the leg. Exhale, tap. Push down through your feet. Inhale, extend. Exhale, tap. One more. Inhale, extend. Exhale, place your left knee on the outside of your right baby toe. You might need a block. You could stick it right underneath your hips if that's a better option. If you get down here and it's still wicked frustrating, straighten your front leg. Your right foot flat on the floor. Your hands around your right shin. Grow taller and then twist to your right. Right hand on the earth. So now the hips are pulling down into the ground. That's what's grounding you. And from that, you're creating some space to move around the corner. Breathe in, growing taller, and exhale, turning around to your right. Yeah, visualize your left ribs coming in towards your right inner thigh. And again, make sure your right foot is rooted on the floor. One more breath. Turn to the original front. Let the twist dissolve. Unravel your legs, Navasana. They could go up, they could go to 90, your hands on your legs, your arms extended. There's so many variations. So do one that feels successful to you. A challenge, but successful. And we'll hold here. Last 3. Last 2. And last one, cross your right leg over your left leg. Take your hands to the top of your mat. Step backwards into plank. Bend your elbows and lower half or all the way down. Inhale, float your heart forward and up. Exhale, push back, downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, lift the left leg to the sky. Big step, left foot to the top of your mat. Right foot flat, rise up, warrior 2 just for a heartbeat. And then straighten your left leg. Bump your left hip underneath you. Take your left hand down to the shin, to the block, to the floor, and right arm to the sky. And then we'll see if this left side is just as magical as the right. Stephanie, these have been a problem since we arrived this morning. They just don't want to stay in there. Oh, right. If it hurts to look up, if it cranes your neck at all, just look towards the windows. Last 2, I'm sneaking up on you. And last one, press through your right side, please. Rise through the center, bend your left knee. We're headed to our balance, Ardha Chandrasana. Right hand on your right hip, your hand comes down. Step your right foot in a lot closer, and then reach the right leg behind you. Yes, Jess, I saw it. I like this side better. That was my fault because I sort of tickled your foot. Yeah, good. So your right toes, just go a little bit more towards the window wall. And there's like a hook underneath the rim of your right hip. Yes. Good. One more breath. Glance down, put your right hand down, but keep your right leg extended. I didn't say it fast enough. Blocks are welcome. Take a breath in. Exhale, bend both knees. Tuck your right knee to your left calf. Drive through your legs. Inhale, extend. Exhale, tap. Inhale, extend. Exhale, tap. Last one, breath in. And then breath out. Put your right shin next to your left baby toe. We're headed down to the earth. Just the transition to get down there is interesting. We have the left foot flat and your right knee underneath you. If this is a bummer, you could sit on a block or straighten your right leg. All of those are valid. Hands on the front of your left shin, grow taller. The left hip that's being a little bit, hesitant, and then turn to your left. Just like if you were standing on your feet, drive the hips down into the floor to lift the crown of your head and turn to your left. Breathing in, growing you taller, and exhale, turn to your left. Beautiful. Linda, look at that. Last moment. Take your eyes forward, let the twist dissolve. Unravel your legs, Navasana. So if you took a variation that you were like frustrated by, take a different variation. If you took one that was really easy, maybe try to extend through your toes and reach your fingertips to the sky. Look up and try to reach your fingers to the ceiling, like you could hang up on some beam or bar up there. Last 3, legs closer. Last 2. If you feel like you're about to do a backwards roll, I do too. Cross your left leg over your right. Take your hands to the top. Hop or step back, plank pose. Bend your elbows and lower half or down to the earth. Inhale, coil your heart forward and up. Amazing. Exhale, drive back, downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, look at your hands, tiptoe or hop your feet to the top of your mat. Take a breath in to come up halfway. Exhale, release your head forward. Bend your knees, chair pose. In chair, reach your arms out in front of you and wrap your right arm over your left. You could grab your shoulders, you could grab the backs of your hands or your palms. Shift your weight into your right foot, lift up your left heel, and then cross your left thigh over your right and just put your left toe on the ground for a second. Get your bearings, organize the hips, organize the bind, and then maybe take your left foot away and wrap it around or squeeze your ankles, but hold here. Balance to get our attention, to retain our attention. Notice the pace, the rhythm of your breathing. The left hip crease lifts slightly up and slightly back. Good. Anyone breathing? Dead silent. Okay, unravel it all. Inhale, sweep your arms and eyes to the sky. Exhale, dive out of your legs, forward fold. Take a breath in to come up halfway. Breath out, release your head, fold. Second side, bend your knees, chair. Reach your arms out in front of you and wrap your left arm over your right, palms, back of the hands. You know what to do. Shift your weight into your left foot, lift your right heel. Cross your right thigh over your left and hold for a moment. Balance the hips. And then keep squeezing the binds. Maybe your foot taps to the outside of your ankle, or you wrap the top of your foot on top of your calf, and we'll hold here. Oh, this side's so much easier for some reason. The hips are really level. Last 3. Last 2. 1 too many, it looked like. Good. Unravel the legs. Inhale, sweep your arms and eyes to the sky. Awesome. Exhale, dive out of your legs. Forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Keep your right foot forward, please. Step your left foot behind you. Gently lower down your left knee and uncurl your toes. I'm going to use blocks. Straighten your front leg. Kick your right heel out in front of you and pause for a moment here. The more I stick the right glute out behind me, the more intense it is. Take your right arm to the inside of your right foot. Take a 30-degree journey, 1 step to your left, and then slide your right arm out away from you. Your right heel is digging into the floor, and your right glute is pressing to the back corner. Oh. The heel is digging down, making an imprint in your mat. Fantastic. Lift your head, walk your hands back underneath you, and now walk over your right leg. The right arm isn't going to do much. Your right toes will wing towards the windows a little bit. Yeah, and then slide your left arm out. It took my breath away. Keep sliding the left arm out. Keep tugging the right hip back. It's like the right inner groin is going to roll into the left inner groin. Lift your head, walk back to the center, drive forward. Put both arms on the inside of your right foot to tuck your right toes out to the side. Turn your right toes out. The blocks are here. You could use that to come down towards the ground or put your elbows on the floor. None of that matters. The right foot is pressing down into the ground and almost like it's sliding backwards. And then use the top of the left foot, that same energetic principle. Push down and feel like you're sliding your left shin, your left knee forward. One more deep breath in and deep breath out. Crawl up onto your hands. Wiggle your right foot to the middle of your mat. We're simply going to switch. Big step, left foot to the top, right foot behind you, and lower down your right knee. Straighten your front leg. Bring the hands, blocks are welcome, back with you. Flare the toes and pause for a second here. So I'm trying to straighten the left leg as much as possible. Use the right shin onto the ground. Then take your left arm on the inside. Take a step to your right. So you have both hands on the inside of your left leg. Right arm doesn't do anything. Slide your left arm away from you. Dig your left heel down and stick your left glute out a little bit to the back corner. Does this make anyone wince a little bit? Oh. Okay, let's do the other side. Lift up, crawl through the center, and then walk over your left leg. Let your left toes turn out a bit. So there's some slight outward rotation. Left arm doesn't do anything. Slide your right arm away from you. Whew. The willies. Whew. Left inner groin coils under. Right arm, stretch it, slide it on this slidey wood floor. Slide it as far as you can out away from you. There's good times. Lift your head, lift your heart, and walk back to front and center. Drive forward. Left arm on the inside. Wiggle your left foot out. Turn your left toes out. And then again, you have something to experiment with here. Drive your left foot into the floor. Feel the top of the right shin, the top of the right foot press into the ground. That same principle. So that kneecap gets really light. And then try to squeeze your legs in towards the center. Last two. And last one. Okay, different exit strategy. We're going to walk on up. The left leg is going to stay just like it is. Tuck your right toes and step like a frog to the top of your mat. Take any variation of malasana here. That could include playing catcher. That could include stillness. Clearly, I'm not including stillness in my own hips, my own low back. It could include a twist. It could include that. Yeah. All right. Exit strategy. Take the blocks off to the side. Hands underneath you. Lift your hips up. Slide the balls of your feet underneath you so your legs are making a diamond and push the ground away. You could stay right here. Keep your head lifted or glue the fronts of your legs onto the backs of your arms. Look forward. Keep pressing into the mat. Lift the back of the waistband. Maybe shift forward, lifting one set of toes or second set of toes, coming in, up and into Bakasana and holding here. Heart forward, legs extend, chaturanga, or put your feet on the ground, step backwards. You're like, I do not know what you just said. It's all good. Oh. And we'll meet in downward facing dog. From down dog, walk your hands to the back of your mat. Pause for a moment. You're in a forward fold at the back of your space. Put your hands on your hips and rise to stand. Take your right foot, and we're just taking a little baby step forward. I'm going to roll through the heel, through the ball of the foot, and come right into warrior three. The head and heart forward, the left leg reaching backwards with your hands on your hips. It's a really good exercise to see if you can keep your pelvis even. You can straighten your left leg because I saw you all already do it. Heart, eyes up. Yes. Slowly rise. Your left leg will just drive by your right. Take it forward, heel toe. Transfer the weight. Keep the center of your chest lifted. Warrior 3, side 2. I don't know why it's kind of harder coming at it from stepping forward than how we normally do it. Does anyone think so? Hey, how about the right hip, everybody? It's really high. What up? A moment to try and balance it, and then right foot on the earth. Inhale, sweep your arms and eyes to the sky. Exhale, dive out of the legs, forward fold. Halfway lift. Set your hands, step into plank and hold. Okay, last little moment of some strengthening. You could always hold plank. You can come down when you need to. Right hand taps your left shoulder, put your hand down. Left hand taps your right shoulder, put your hand down. Right hand taps your left knee, put your limbs down. Left hand taps your right knee, limbs down. Right hand, left shoulder, hand down. Left hand, right shoulder, hand down. Right hand, left knee, limbs back down. Left hand, right knee, limbs back down. Right hand, left shoulder. Left hand. Right hand to your knee. Left hand to your knee. Right hand to your shoulder. Left hand to your shoulder. Right hand, left knee. How's it going? Left hand, right knee. Last time, right hand, left shoulder. We got it. Left hand, right knee, left knee, or right hand, left knee, sorry. Left hand, right knee. Hold here, get your bearings. And then calmly lower all the way down to your belly. Whew. Arms streamlined. Squeeze the shoulders together. Lift your head, lift your heart. Shalabhasana. One more breath. Exhale, lower. Reach your right arm above your head. Bend your knees, roll over onto your right side. The more your knees come in front of you, the less wobbly it is. Take your left hand, reach up, grab the top of your left foot. Squeeze the thigh bone down. Squeeze your left hip towards that wall, and then put your left foot out the windows. Yeah, one more breath. Gently release. Roll on your belly. Reach your left arm up above your head. Bend your knees as you roll onto your right side or left side, and then reach up with your right hand, grab the top of your right foot. In order to grab your foot, chances are the knee and the thigh bone winged up. So you're going to take the moment to squeeze the thigh bone in, and then push your right hip to the window wall. Straighten your right elbow and push your foot behind you. So make sure your hip is active. Jean, that's a perfect resolution. Why not? One more breath and come back to the center. Put your forehead on your mat, stretch your arms streamline. You could repeat locust or bend both knees, reach back there and catch the tops of your feet. Walk your legs underneath you. And when you're ready, breathe in and float the heart forward and lifting on up, bow pose, Dhanurasana. Beautiful. One more breath and exhale, lower down. Take one cheek to your mat and just rest. We're going to do one more belly back bend. This is for Linda. Yeah, you can. I think you can. All right, reach back, grab the tops of your feet. And when you're ready, inhale and rise on up. If you're feeling kind of spicy, what would it be like to roll onto your right side? Which is kind of a combination of what you just did. Yeah, Daniela, tell me when you want to let go. That was so good. Roll back over onto your belly. It feels awkward at best, and roll over onto your left side. It feels so helpless, doesn't it? Go, 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 go. Yeah, yes. And then squeeze down. Good. And then slowly come back over onto your belly. I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing with you. Good. Let go of your feet. It's ridiculous. And then put your hands by your armpits and press back into child's pose just for a heartbeat. And roll up. Take your arms behind your back. One last time. Interlace your feet. Not one last time. There's going to be one more. Squeeze the heels of your hands together. Slide your shoulders together and feel like your knuckles are going to punch the floor right in front of your big toes. Let your heart lift up. Rise through the center and take your forearms immediately out in front of you. Interlace your hands and drive the forearms into the earth. Tuck your toes and lift your hips up, coming up into dolphin pose. Slide your chest back towards your thighs. Feel like you're sliding your knuckles, your forearms forward. Slow motion, lower your knees. Send your hips back as you roll up. This time, take your hands behind you, fingertips face you. Just like we started, drive into the earth, push the tops of the feet, the shins into the ground, scoop your tailbone up, lift your hips up, the shoulders slide behind your heart, then let your head either look up or drop back. Slow motion, lower the hips down, rise through the center. You could repeat dolphin if you're a headstand person. If you want to take dolphin with the palms flat, that might be a fun experiment to try something different. If it feels really solid, perhaps lifting one of your legs up for 3 to 5 breaths. And then at some point you'll switch. If you're headed upside down, this would be the moment. Because lifting the legs up is a prep for a further inversion, I want to encourage you to curl the inner thigh up and in as opposed to letting your toes and knees look to the side, because that will help matter as that pose starts to change. Those of you in headstand, calculate your lowering strategy and then employ that action. And we'll send the hips down. And this time we'll stand up onto the shin. Even if you can't reach your heels, just bless you, for the sake of today, ground down through the tops of the feet, through the shins. If you know grabbing your heels is frustrating, you all have 2 blocks, you could put them there and pretend that those are your heels. Reach your arms up and then drive those bones down into the ground and feel the rebound of energy up. Lengthen your low back, stretch the ribs up your waist, and then start to bend your elbows. Let your shoulders sneak behind you. And then maybe your hands fall for the blocks or they reach for your heels. Or if that's frustrating, just put your hands on your low back. Your head is the last thing to arrive. Amazing. Roll back through this top. Have a seat on your heels just for a moment. And then flip your legs out from underneath you and come right down onto your back. Okay. Bend your knees when you get here. Stretch your fingertips towards your heels. Bridge pose, that two bandhasana. I'm going to press into the feet, coil the tailbone up. Bless you. You're on the crest of the shoulders. And then if reaching underneath you and interlacing your hands is super frustrating, bend your elbows and make robot arms. Or you could take your hands and reach for the outer edge of your mat. But both of those are good alternatives. With your big toes, imagine your big toes are trying to look at one another and your heels are kicking to the side a little bit. Relax your arms. Slowly deliver your heart, each individual rib, the back of your waistband, and then your hips. You're either going to repeat that or put your hands by your ears, consciously roll your upper arm bones in. The palms are pressing into the floor. The feet are pressing into the floor. Honestly, I did that for a solid year of just trying to access the strength of my arms and my upper body in this position. You could keep that or lift the hips up, come up into bridge. And you could keep that or rise up onto the crown of your head or maybe even straightening your arms. Amazing. Good. Chin into your throat. We'll all find the crest of the shoulders and slowly come back down. Resist the temptation to draw your knees into your chest. Pause here. Take a full breath in. Exhale completely. We're doing it again. Put your hands by your ears. Roll your arm bones in. You could just stay here and press your hands and feet as hard as you can into the floor, or lift your hips up into bridge, just like that, Stephanie. I did that for another solid year. Or maybe press your arms straight and coming up into wheel. Good. Chin into your throat. Find the back of your head, your shoulders, each individual rib. Mary, look at your sister. All right. Good. Once you arrive on your back, one hand on your heart, one hand on your belly, just let your back be neutral for a moment. We're going to come into pigeon. If coming into pigeon on your back is a better option for you, you'll just stay here and put your right ankle on top of your left thigh. If you would like the more traditional version, we're going to roll up. You'll take your right leg to the front and swing your left leg behind you. I'm going to add one little change though. So we get here, kind of get organized. And then keep your right palm on the ground, but put your left forearm on the floor. And I'm going to take my right hand a little bit to the side and push down with the right hand and try to rotate the spine. So the right ribs roll up, the left ribs roll under. And the result of that is my right glute is trying to sink a little bit heavier into the floor. Rotate through the center. We'll walk up onto your hands. Roll on your right glute, swing the left leg around to the front. If you're on the floor, you could just sit up for this part and then go back down. It doesn't matter. Right foot to your left inner thigh. Reach your arms up to the sky. Take a huge breath in. That same concept. Dig the heel, the calf, the thigh down into the ground. Let that rebound of energy move the low back up and in. And then start slowly reach forward, taking your hands for your foot, the floor, your shin, and then the crown of your head, reaching for the top of your foot. Breathe in, lift your heart, straighten your spine, and rise on up. We're going to switch legs. We're going backwards. I know. Right leg extends, left foot comes in. Reach your arms up to the sky. And then again, that feeling of push, muscular effort, drive down and feel like you can draw the low back up and in. Keep that new length that you created and reach forward. Maybe your hands for your foot, the floor, the crown of your head, reaching for your right foot. Do you need water? Okay. Slowly rise, lift your heart. We're going to keep the left leg forward and swing your right leg to the back of the room. And as you inch your way into pigeon, feel like if I grabbed your right big toe, I'm pulling you backwards. So there's still some energy, some length to that leg. So the kneecap isn't slamming into the floor. It feels a little bit like less pressure. Crawl down onto your forearms and put your right forearm underneath you. Come up onto the pads of your left fingertips or push your left hand into the floor and rotate your chest, rotate the spine. Left ribs roll up, right ribs roll underneath. To see if that just offers you something a little bit different through the rim of your right hip or your left glute. Good, and then come back through the center. We'll rise on up. We'll stay on the earth, swing your right leg all the way around to the front and take the soles of your feet together, coming into Tarasana. So your heels not super close to you, your feet just a little bit further away. Use your hands, pick it up, take your head forward, your booty back, and then put your hands on the tops of your feet and let your forehead soften toward your feet. Lift your heart, straighten your spine, and rise. Flatten your feet on the floor, knees to the sky. We're going to come down onto our backs. When you get here, finally hug the knees into the chest. Imagine your low back is a clock. And as you circle your knees, you're trying to hit all the hour marks, all the minute marks on the clock. As you roll the knees to the right, down to the bottom, your tailbone gets a little firmer, your knees to the left, and then your knees into the chest. And then at some point, go counterclockwise and see if one, it's a little bit of low core, not going to lie, but if you can find all the tick marks on your low back. And then one last squeeze of your knee. If there's something else that your spine, your body needs before you can rest comfortably, of course, you'll do that. Otherwise, you'll extend your legs out underneath you. Take your arms out to the side, roll your palms open. Let your feet flop open. And we'll just rest for a few minutes together here. Okay. Okay. You continue to lie on the earth. Feel the weight of your body as it drops down the back of your head, your shoulder blades, the backs of your hands, your hips, your heels. Find some softness, some light around your eyes, around your jaw, down your throat, around your heart, around your abdomen. Breathe into that spaciousness. Invite some movement back in, moving your hands, moving your feet. Mm. Big stretch. When you're ready, reach your arms, stretch your legs, and bend your knees and roll to your side. Be on the lookout for water bottles, blocks, and then we'll press up and rise to a seat. Once you arrive, feel free. You could keep your hands resting on your legs or take your hands together at your heart. We'll pause for just another moment and allow your mind to settle on just something that came up during your practice, something positive, something optimistic, that you felt connected, that you knew the name of a pose, or that you just felt strong, you felt peaceful, and allow that little seed to just to just plant that little seed somewhere so there's this growth over time. We'll take a breath in, exhale, sigh. Draw the chin towards your chest. We'll bow our heads. Feel the practice. Namaste. Thanks, everybody. Happy Thursday. Thanks for visiting. Thanks, everyone at home. Yeah.